Wagwan, everybody. Lennox here from Simple123 Trader. This is the playbook outlook for the week of February 21st to February 25th. Shortened week. We have holiday today, and I'll just be taking a look at the futures, currencies, indices for the rest of the week. What's shaping up? Hope everybody's doing well. Let's take a look, starting off with the US dollar index, and US dollar looking very strong going into the week. You can see we at the current bar on the weekly, we have a almost of a pin bar there, and looking relatively strong as we push into the start of the week, a shortened week. Like I said, today is President's Day in the United States, and market was closed. So on the daily, looking like we're going to push one more time to the upside here, and look towards breach of the highs, the previous highs set just last week. So strengthen the US dollar. So that bodes weakness for Aussie. So Aussie right now on the weekly, you can see on the weekly we're inside of a channel up at the top, near the top of a channel. So we'll be looking for a little bit of weakness if the US dollar continues the strength. So right now it does look a little bit like it has a little bit one more push maybe, but overall we should be coming down. The euro especially should be, right now the Aussie is looking like it has a little bit more strength than normal. Let's take a look at the euro. The euro should be looking weaker, and that you can see that the euro is looking much weaker than the Aussie. We're inside this channel here to the downside. We're near the top of it, and we're pushing to the downside. So that is what's shaping up for the coming week. Continued move to the downside here, more than likely, for the euro. Let's take a look at the British pound, and British pound is, that's Swiss. Can never find them. There it is. No, that's the Mexican peso. Here's the British pound. The British pound on the weekly also should be, falling, but it too is looking like it's bucking the trend a little bit here and looking to push one more time to the upside. So a little bit of strength in the British pound, and incredibly, even though the US dollar again is looking like, unless totally incorrect here and the US dollar will fall, it looks otherwise that we're going to get this push to the upside. So let's see how the Japanese yen, what it looks like. The Japanese yen on the weekly has been down quite substantially for the last while, and is looking now to push back to the upside. So it's setting up for that little push to the upside here, and more than likely will continue. So strength there. Let's take a look at something else. Aussie, what else we have? New Zealand. New Zealand would be similar to the Aussie, looking also to push right now, again, looking to push to the upside, even though we have a strong US dollar overall. So maybe a bit of volatility in all of these. That's probably the key takeaway overall. All right, let's take a look at the Bitcoin. And Bitcoin right now, that's the daily. Let's go with the weekly. On the weekly, looking poised to breach these lows. Very weak overall. So looking on the daily, it's looking like we might get a little bit of a bounce here. We're right at a support area, so we could get a little bit of a bounce here, but overall we'd be heading to the downside. So any move to the upside is continued weakness. Let's take a look at some of the other coins. The Dash or Dodge. Let's take a look at Dodge. Dodge coin also very weak. Let's take a look at on the weekly. Also very weak. We're sitting right at a critical point, and any breach of that, and it looks like that's what's going to happen. We're going to be heading to the downside. in a hurry. So setting up for continued weakness in Dodge. Let's see what other coin do we have. A Litecoin. Let's take a look at Litecoin. Also almost identical setup. We're sitting right at a very critical point, and we're looking like we're going to fall through as well. And if we take a look at this from the weekly, it too sitting at a very critical point on the chart, but very weak, and we'd look for continued weakness in the coins. Let's take a look at Dash coins. Same kind of almost again the same kind of thing. Looking for a breach. This is the first time, so second time in the last few weeks that it's reached this level again, and looking to break through to further lows. All right, let's take a gander at gold. So our crude oil, let's take a look at crude oil first. Crude oil is doing the opposite, still pushing to the upside. It's in free territory in the sense that these are areas, it's coming back to a previous high that, trying to reach that previous high, looking very strong going into the week. And if we take a look at gold, gold also very strong, pushing up, and it's in right at a resistance, but looking like it wants to just cut right through that to the upside. So very strong on gold overall going into the week. All right, let's take a look at the Dow Jones going into the week, and on the weekly time frame, go US 30 on the weekly. Come on, chart. There we go. Okay, so right now we're sitting at a very critical point in time here, and head and shoulders, neckline, everything looking pretty bleak. If we breach this level here this week, all bets are off and we're heading down in a hurry. So overall, looking pretty bleak. This is a very thin line. Any moves to the upside, opportunities to sell into this, further movements to the downside. Taking a look at the S&P 500, and let's go to the weekly. Same type of setup. We're right at a very critical point, and looking to breach to the low end of this move. So seeing this setup, any pushes to the upside, opportunities to sell into this to the downside. And U.S. Technology Group. The U.S. Technology Group was the group that led this rise, all this time, all the way up, and now we have breached that to the downside, and we're again sitting at a very critical point, and any breach of this level here, and it's not going to be boding well for the market overall. So you can see that we've set up, and we've already breached this level. So any pullback, opportunities to sell into this move. It doesn't look like we're going to get a pullback at all. Actually, it looks like we're just going to fall right through. But we'll see how it shapes up for the remainder of the week. And lastly, we'll take a look at the Russell 2000, and it too. This one has gone a lot further than the others. You can see it's down quite a bit, and still looking to challenge that low that it made a few weeks ago. So very weak overall. Again, looking for further weakness. Any pullback, opportunities to sell, but I don't think there'll be any pullbacks. I think this is just going to be heading straight down. So keep your eyes open for volatility, because it's going to be a volatile week, and profitable trading to everyone. I'm done now. Thank you.